Lagos, the vibrant city of aquatic splendor, entertainment hub of Africa, Nigeria's largest city where the famous John Randle Center for Culture and History is located. Today on Wanderlust Express, let us explore John Randle Center for Yoruba Culture and History, located in the heart of Lagos. My name is Estelle Melo. Let me say Ekabo. Welcome to the John Randle Center. Inaugurated in 2023 by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, the Cultural Center houses an extensive collection of pieces. The center is adorned with artworks that represent the past, the present, and the future. Right at the entrance of the center is the car of the first Black woman to embark on a solo trip from London to Lagos, named Pelumi Lubi. Just at the entrance of John Randle Center for Yoruba Culture and History is this beautiful car right here. Now, this was the car that the first Black woman to ever embark on a solo travel from London to Lagos used, and this was in 2024. Now, this car had been here ever since she got back, or she embarked on the trip back to Lagos. Just at the reception, I noticed the inscription on the wall, both in Yoruba and English, with beautiful designs made with Ankara, brightly colored patterned wax print fabric. This is an artwork that represents the universe.
This represents the universe, or the earth as a whole. The upper part is where the important decisions are being made by the Yorumole, the messengers of Olodumare God. And the lower part is another world that exists beneath us. And this is where we are.
In the middle.
Agbedemeji.
The responsibility of raising a child is done by an entire community. This is a communal structure where everyone takes active role in nurturing and educating children. The tree of storytelling is one that reminds us of the saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
So this tree is called the tree of storytelling. In Yoruba land, we didn't have the normal setting of school back then. What we have is the moon and the tree. So in the evening or at night, the people will sit. The elder will sit somewhere around there and the people will gather around. The elder will be sharing stories, tales, fables, but basically stories about the community that they belong to. And one thing about this class is that there is no graduation and there is no failure. You only come, you collect the story, you go home, you verify from your parents, and they tell you, that is true. What that man told you, it's really true. Well, I could remember years back when lion entered the community. So we didn't use dates. We used to attach events to another event. For example now, when they tell you, my grandpa, when did he give birth to my grandpa? They can tell you, Ọjọ́ tí erin tó sáré wọjà. The day an elephant ran into the market, that's the day they gave birth to your grandpa. So that's how. So they will tell you the stories, you collect the information, you go home and you verify. But this is the function of this trip.
I explored further with my tour guide, who explained what Egungun is and how they cannot be called masquerades.
So in Yoruba culture, we have thousands of Egungun. We call them Egungun, the spirits of our ancestors. So I do not like to translate Egungun to be masquerade, because masquerade, if you look at the definition of masquerade, is for fun. It's for, joke, and people wear masks and joke around. But Egungun these are not jokes. These are the spirits of our ancestors. When a grandma or someone elderly in the family died, we believe that once they die, we don't believe in the concept of rest in peace.
It's an reincarnation.
No, there is reincarnation.
Okay.
But, for someone to die, they will say, R.I.P., rest in peace. We don't believe in that. Because once you die, you are starting another responsibility, another job. As an ancestor, you have to watch over your offsprings, your children, your grandchildren, and all of that in the spiritual realm. To protect them, and this is how they come. They come in this form, in the form of Egungun, Eyo, Gelede, Egun Alari, Onijo, Danofojura. So each lineage in Yoruba land have a particular name for their own Egungun. So this is the one for the Lagos people. Yeah, Gelede is the one for the I think Ijebu also people. So we have it in different places and in different settlements in Yoruba land.
The past, the present, and the future are connected through culture by way of shared traditions, values, stories, and practices. And this Center for Yoruba Culture and History embodies all three.
All of these that you see here, they are part of the past, but they are still relevant in the present time, and we can still make use of them in the future. All of this, the tree of storytelling is also part of the past, and some of the present ones are the clothes stand over there where we have the fashion. So, and that stand over there, I like to call, I have a saying that I coined out for it, which is, the past is not useless, the present is not sufficient, and the future could be shaped. So if we can make use of the past knowledge, combining with the present technology, we can actually shape and look up to a beautiful future.
I love it.
So that is a combination.
So this is also a spirit?
Yes, Egungun. All these are called Egun Alari. These are the kind of Egungun that you see that they dance, perform magic, go on the roof of the house and do all sorts. Yeah.
And this part, this would be the present.
Yes, these are the one I said, the combination of the past and the present. You see, all of this clothing that you see here, they use ancient materials. Adure, Ofi, Sanyan, and all of that. And they use them to make contemporary fashion wears, blazers, suits, gowns, and all of that. So if we can combine all of this together, we can actually have a beautiful future where people can wear all of this on the Paris Fashion Week, you know, to showcase them and all of that. So it is the combination of all.
And I'm going to ask you, what is the importance of preserving our culture, regardless of where we're from, the importance of what you have here today?
Now, everybody, why do we give ourselves a name? So that we can have an identity. That's why you have a name, and that's why we all don't bear the same name. Now, culture is unique to every set of people. Your culture will determine where you are from. For the Yoruba people, that's why we call ourselves Omoluabi, which is the children that are worthy, the children that are trained with respect and, you know, good character. And that is why today, preserving the Yoruba culture should be one of every Yoruba sons and daughters' responsibility, because our culture is what makes us stand out. And that is why till today, Yoruba culture is one of the number one culture in Africa that is being studied all over the world, because it tells a story about who we are, where we are from, and where we are going.
I took out time to experience the Kinect interactive screen. I danced, and I noticed reflected on the screen. I was told when you go before a king as a woman in Yoruba land, you have to get on your knees, which I did.
This is what a proper king looks like in Yoruba land. And if you want to greet a king, for a man, you have to prostrate. You lie down flat. For women, they will have to kneel down on their knees.
On both knees?
Yes. And they will even have to bow. So this is what a proper king look like in Yoruba land. Well, you know, the crown, the clothing, the yorukere, which is the horse tail, the itise, the shoe, and the staff.
What does this staff represent, though?
This staff, you see, if a king has a crown without this staff, he is not yet a king. This is the most important item. This is what actually gave him the authority to rule. That's why they call it the staff of authority. If a king is supposed to attend a function, and he could not go, he can actually he will not send the crown to represent him. No, nobody will give the crown any recognition. This is the only thing he needs to send, the staff. And once the staff is there, whoever is carrying the staff is representing the king. And the person will be treated like the king and will sit on the spot that is prepared for the king, because this is the king at that moment. All of these are just designs. That's why they call Ishe Ona Ile.
Ishe Ono Ile.
The work of the Yoruba people. This is like the wood carving. You understand? It is a design, just, the work of the Yoruba people that will love to turn wood into figures.
Beautiful. And over there, yeah. I was wondering if this is a crown, or what exactly is this?
This that you have here, every one of us in this room, we all have one. It is an Orisha.
What does Orisha mean?
Orisha are the spiritual beings, like the messengers of God. And this is also one of them. And each and every one of us in this room, we all have one of these. This is called Ileori. Ileori means the icon of Ori, or the icon of destiny. Ileori this is the icon that represents our destiny, our Ori. Our Ori is destiny to us in Yoruba land. And we believe that the most important part of our body is this. And that's why the Yoruba will always pray. Whenever we wake up, we hold our head. And we say, holding me magba, but they hold mine.
And even when they want to shout,
they hold our head also, because it represents us. This is our identity. And that is why today, if you take a picture of myself and I post from here to here, nobody will be able to recognize who is in the picture, because there is no identity. But if I should post from here to here, immediately people will recognize this is my identity. And that is why if someone is successful today, we only need a picture from here to praise them, to see them and recognize them. Also, if someone should get into trouble, their mug shots is just from here, because this is their identity. So this is the icon that represents the Yoruba.
Would you add this as part of the past or present? Or
it is
both?
Part of the past, and it is also valid in the present.
In Yoruba culture, twins are called Ibeji, and they are considered a great blessing, often seen as good fortune.
In Yoruba land, we believe twins are not just ordinary children. They are special kids. And we have an Orisha, a messenger of God that is in charge, a deity that is in charge of that. We call it Orisha Ibeji. So he's in charge of twins. And maybe that's why the Yoruba give birth to the highest birth of twins in the whole world. Yeah.
Really? What? Really?
Yeah. Check it up on Google. Ibuora. Ibuora is a town, a community in Yoruba land, in Oyo State. They give birth to the highest number of twins in the whole world.
The artworks in the center all have write-ups both in Yoruba and English for visitors to understand better. The music world isn't left out, as talking drums are carefully showcased with visuals of some of our music legends like Fela and Anikulapo Kuti, King Sunny Ade, and many more. Moving over to the future, and I'm going to ask you if you're concerned about what the future holds for Yoruba culture, for our history, for the African history in general.
So, as it is right now, I will say my fear of the future had been reduced, because with all we have here now, I think this is the beginning, and the future is looking like it's going to be good. We are waking up for government in Lagos State to sit down and create this initiative shows that something is improving. So if we can keep preserving what is ours this way, then the future is definitely beautiful. And that is why we have some figures here. The imagined future. Because all of these are imagined of what our deities look like, and the future in an acceptable manner of the world. And this year we have Oshun.
Oshun.
Yeah, Oshun,
Okay.
which is the goddess of river.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have Shango, the Orisha that is in charge of lightning, thunder, and rainfall. And we also have Oya, the Orisha, is also a goddess of river, and she's also in charge of breeze and air. And over here, we have Osoin, the Orisha that is in charge of healing, herbs, roots, and medicine in Yoruba land.
Talk to me about this, though.
So this is just also a statement, where we imagine the future, where this is Isaleko in Lagos State,
Okay.
or Puto in Abeokuta, looking like this with the combination of the past with technology. Because honestly, we don't know what the world will look like in the next 100 years. Who would have imagined 100 years ago that you will be thousands of miles away and I can see you on my phone and have a video call?
True.
And all of that. So we don't know what the future can look like, but if we start working towards it, we can actually have a beautiful future that is combined of that consists of the Yoruba past and incorporated into the present technology to have a beautiful future like this.
And this over here.
And this is just a display that is telling a little bit of story of how the world came to be created by the Irumole according to the Yoruba belief.
We are absolutely rich in art and culture, and it's really beautiful to see that the John Randle Center of Yoruba Culture and Heritage basically speaks and promotes the Yoruba culture and the Yoruba heritage. It's been an amazing time here, and if you are one on a tour thinking of where to visit, if you come to Lagos, Nigeria, John Randle Center for Yoruba Culture and History should be a place that you must visit. My name is Estelle Melo, and this is where we let the curtain fall on this episode of Wanderlust Express.